So today, we're playing the Berserker, and we've got a Villainous uniquely unique run. This skill allows us to get more unique items, and it may help bless us with our Villain Sword. With a mix of uniquely unique attack speed, hero swords, courage pups, and even a hero longsword, we stacked up our Villain Sword to deal about 110 DPS. But hey, check it out and let me know what you think of it. Okay, let's go and jump some ranked games with a random character and see who we're going to get today. So it looks like we're playing the big old Berserker. We do start off with the duffel bag with our walrus tusk and a shiny shell too. So I'm going to start off by grabbing ourselves a broom. We're going to need a good old weapon anyway. We're going to grab the piggy bank since it is on sale. I'm going to grab a stone and I'm going to roll once. And we did get our little forging hammer, which we probably should be taking. Which, yeah, unfortunately we'll have to grab. Now I did want to grab ourselves a whetstone, maybe craft up a hero sword. But yeah, this is going to be our first round. Now it should be pretty decent. We do have Walrus Tusk for a bit of damage with our broom. And we do have a shiny shell to give us a bit of a heal. And during our battle rage, we activate our broom a little bit faster. And not too bad. Just pause the video to remind you to like, comment or subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. I'm going to be grabbing our wooden sword. I'm going to be grabbing our whetstone. And I'm going to grab a set of heal grabs as we roll for now. And I'm going to have to reserve this leather bag along with a big old banana for now. We do want to add our sword and we do want to craft up a, not a shepherd's crook, a hero sword. It's going to be a tough choice between healing herbs and this shiny shell. But I think, yeah, we're going to keep our shiny shell in for right now. And we're going to see, can we take on this Reaper with a lot of blueberries, a banana, double weapons. We're doing pretty decent damage. And yeah, not too bad. And we're going to get a hero sword, which is going to be fantastic first. And we could craft up claws attack since we do have a pair of gloves as well. But I do kind of want to go for Falcon Blade, so I'm going to take it for now. And yeah, I'm going to have to craft up that Falcon Blade. But I do want to grab ourselves this banana for now. And actually add that in too. But again, I'm going to be moving on pretty fast. I am increasing the speed of our hero sword. And also I made a mistake because our forging hammer isn't touching our hero sword. Yeah, that was a little bit of a misplay. Some DPS that we did miss out on, increasing the speed of our hero sword. What we should have done is just place our gloves at the other side. But hey, can we still take on this Berserker? It's looking pretty close. We have stacked up a lot of blinds, but unfortunately, we still end up losing. What we should have done is something like this, which would have been much better. Now we could have a uniquely unique run, we could have an extra Angie run. We could just take that spicy banana, but I'm thinking about taking uniquely unique here. I'm also going to grab this fanny pack. We did get a set of blueberries, which I'm going to grab too, and I'm going to roll once again. So for now, I'm going to sell that stone, and I'm thinking about selling our walrus tusk or our healing herbs here. I think I'm going to sell our spikes for now. I do want to grab this eye lamp, and I do want to increase the speed of our hero sword, or the damage on our hero sword, quite significantly. But for now, I'm going to put in our healing herbs, and we're going to have a uniquely unique target our eye lamp for an increased speed on. Now, this is probably going to be better since we do get that battle rage, but it is not going to be targeting our hero sword. So I did change the setup around a little bit. So we have a uniquely unique target our eye lamp with our gloves increasing the speed as much as we can on the eye lamp, scaling up our damage as fast as we can. So, and also our forging hammer is going to be awesome for our uniquely unique. So yeah, we're going to keep going with this for now. Increasing that speed on that eye lamp to about 2 seconds activation, increasing that damage on our hero sword pretty decently fast. Once we get a battle rage, yes, shouldn't be too bad. And we did get a villain sword. We could literally go for a villain sword type build. But you know what? Hell yeah, I'm going to be doing. Let's grab this too. I'm going to sell our little bit of blueberries for another wooden sword. Even though that is going to be run through stamina pretty fast as well. But hey, I'm going to sell our broom. I'm going to roll. And I'm going to roll again. And we're going to be taking the storage. I did take the wooden swords because I'm going to try to craft up some hero swords because they're going to be lower stamina cost than an actual normal wooden sword. And they're also going to increase our weapon damage as well. So that is exactly what I'm going to intend to do now. This villain sword is going to be dealing a lot of damage for us. Yeah, 16 DPS right now is going to be insane. Especially even with an eye lamp, it's going to be even better. However, opponent, it does have double brooms with a shepherd's crook, but not too bad. Now we did get a present, but we're not going to be going for that present today. We're going to be grabbing ourselves another whetstone. We're going to roll again, and we have to take a bunch of daggers as well, because that is literally going to be some melee weapons. Increase our DPS quite significantly, so let's go ahead and move on. Now, unfortunately, with the villain sword, it does decrease the damage of our melee weapons all around, but yeah, not too bad still. But yeah, I'm going to grab ourselves potion belts. I'm going to grab another banana as we roll. I'm going to take another wooden sword. We try and craft up another hero sword. Potentially. But we could try to add in another wooden sword, especially since we did get ourselves another banana. And you know what? I think I'm going to try that. Because your villain sword right now actually doesn't get any benefit from this wooden sword. So yeah, that was a huge mistake. We should have placed that sword up top. But luckily for us, it didn't really matter. Yeah, that should have been up in this direction. So now we could just take the brass knuckles, which is specifically a melee weapon, which is perfect for a villain sword. It also scales up our crits and accuracy, but we could also take the wolf emblem, grab a bunch of these doggos, which are melee weapons, and scale up our damage that way. So yeah, I'm gonna be grabbing that. Now that is pop, which isn't a melee weapon, but is a pet. Now it doesn't really affect, villain sword doesn't affect any other weapon, so we could take pop here if we want to. You know what? I'm going to be taking pop for now. And perfect item for it. Let's keep rolling. And let's keep rolling. All we want is daggers. So I'm going to have to reserve the slaughter bag, but we are going to move on with this. We do have some scaling damage on pop. We have some scaling damage on our villain sword. And our gloves are going to be targeting pop and our villain sword. So it shouldn't be too bad. Now we're only going to get crit chance. Well, we're getting an honor dagger and a forging hammer, but yeah, they deal very, very, very little damage, but crit chance on a villain sword with a lot of melee weapons, he's going to be insanely good value. Especially for right now. I'm going to grab this bit of storage. You know what? I'm going to grab this too. And I'm going to be crafting up a freaking gloves of power. Which just means I'm going to have to roll. Let's keep rolling. We found ourselves an armor doggo, but honestly, I'm going to keep rolling, trying to find ourselves some melee doggos, which we didn't find. So unfortunately, we do gotta move on. Yeah, because we just want big burst damage with lots of melee doggos, increasing the damage of our villain sword like crazy. Now with gloves of power with pop, it is going to slow it down, but every time pop attacks, we should be able to get a lot of block. And pop is a super fast attacking pet, which is amazing for us. Now unfortunately, out of all these options, I don't think we want really any. Power of the Moon to give us a lot of max life, but we're not going to be aiming for fatigue. Super spacious. Honestly, to try to find some bags, not too bad, but we want to find dogs, not bags. Dragon set, pretty good, but yeah, we're not going to be looking for those dragon skull armors, boots, gloves. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take more stats, which might be terrible with a villain sword. Now again, I'm going to be crafting up another hero sword. I'm going to roll again. That's another dagger, which hell yeah, I'm going to be grabbing. Let's also grab ourselves a stamina bag, but let's take a protective little purse for now. But I'm going to be moving on. Actually, we probably should have our more stats, yeah, up around uniquely unique, increasing the speed of that villain sword, and not too bad. Now we did get Artifact Stone Heat on sale, but we only have 4 heats. That will bring us to 7 heat. We could have a pretty strong pop if we stack up 10 heats. But are we willing to sacrifice our last unique spot for it? Since it's on sale, you know what? Let's grab it. Let's move. I don't exactly want any of these items for now. Let's keep going. And we're probably going to have to take another eye lamp for more heat generation. For now though, I'm going to be taking another freaking whetstone just in case we come across another wooden sword. Actually, we do want to grab this unstable recombobulator, later, but yeah, we're going to be moving on. Now, I did place our artifact stone heats up top for right now, which is less than ideal, but it is going to sit there for now. Because we're not going to be able to proc our 10 heat anyway, and it is just going to increase our villain sword speed. So definitely not too bad. We have a 50 DPS villain sword, which is amazing. And we're going to see just how much damage we actually do. We almost have a 60 DPS in total. Our opponent had about 18, which is crazy. As for heals, non-existent. But then as for block, we managed to get about a 96 block. So yeah, I do believe we can make this crazier as long as we find ourselves some melee doggos. So we're going to be taking both these. I'm going to roll. I'm going to keep rolling. And we found ourselves another melee doggo, which is amazing for us. We do want to grab this fanny pack. And we are going to have to wait another round for that doggo. Now I'm just going to let our unstable recombobulator recombobulate as we move forward. And we could also grab more whetstones and potentially craft up a hero longsword, but yeah, I'm going to keep our hero swords because they are lower stamina cost, but that's big old damage and not too bad. We definitely need some pets though to increase our crit chance, because right now we only have a 22% crit chance. And speaking of pet, that's a freaking hero sword. Ruby Egg is going to be our heats. Perfect for artifact stone heats. And we did get our pup as well. I'm going to continue to roll. That unstable recombobulator was straight up nuts. I do want to grab this leather bag pretty badly, so I'm going to have to sell pretty much these for now. So we can actually fit this in. So we did move our whole set around, so we do have our artifact stone heats targeting our pop for right now. And we have pretty much as much melee weapons around our villain sword as of right now. But unfortunately, I don't think we are going to be able to fit in much other melee pets around unless we sacrifice our gloves of power, our uniquely unique, or even our eye lamp as well. But maybe I do want to get rid of eye lamp because that is going to have to be 4, or 1 melee weapon is 4 procs of the eye lamp. Well, with the shields, we're pretty much out of stamina, which is pretty bad, but hopefully Pop can pick up the slack. And awesome. But hey, we might actually be removing some of our hero swords, to be honest. Yeah, they're eating up too much stamina. Once we grab more melee pups. Now let's keep rolling. We could grab this, see what it's going to be. Armored Feasting. Honestly, not too bad. Increasing the speed of our bananas for stamina. Now that is a freaking mana orb, which, you know what? I'm going to have to say goodbye to one of our hero swords. It's going to be too much stamina. Let's keep going. We did get ourselves a power pup, which is not terribly bad for us. But this mana orb is going to increase our mana generation on our pop, which should be pretty decent. Now we could also grab a Wubtinger with a power pup as well. But I think we're just going to grab our power pup, we're going to grab our leather bag, and we're going to move on. So we should be in a pretty decent spot. And once our dragon hatches, that is going to be more DPS for us. And amazing damage. Genuinely amazing damage. Villain sword with a 67 DPS. Almost 100 DPS. Not too bad. Now let's grab our power pup. That is another whetstone. Should we actually just freaking go for it? Now we can also place our artifact stone heat, be targeting our dragon and our pop. But I still much prefer having a pop being targeted by artifact stone heat. So we're going to place it out something like so. We're going to move this power pup in, but I'd much prefer to keep it over this side. But it's going to have to sit here for now. Now the question is, do we just grab our whetstone, craft up a hero longsword? You know what? I think we do. Let's go ahead and grab you, craft up burning coal, and let's roll once. And you know what? I will be taking another funny pack. But yeah, let's keep moving for right now. Now we did lose a little bit of value by moving this armored courage pup out. But I did want to craft up this power pup for now. And not too bad. Power pup's not going to be providing too much, but it is going to be that crit chance that we do want as well. Now we did get a hero longsword. Let's grab our fanny pack. Let's roll for now. And you know what? We could just grab a Shelly here. Shelly's not going to do anything really because we're going to be trying to burst out our opponent. So I don't think we're going to take that. Cheese on sale. Might as well grab it for now. And I was almost going to sell the cheese, but I think we're going to sell our healing herbs for another courage pup. Now we can also forego our gloves of power and pretty much have her set up to be more like this. So we can grab our damage on our villain sword along with pop as well. But I do like our 2 fastest weapons granting us a lot of block. So I'm going to keep this way. But yeah, I'm going to put our hero longsword up here, giving damage to our little hero swords. And our courage pop and our 2 hero swords, increasing the damage on our villain swords. Yeah, I'm going to be moving on. Now we could have also increased the damage of pop with all these hero swords. But we'll see. Our opponent did massive damage with that shield. They do have a lot of armor. And actually, yeah, their opponent did have a crazy nut setup with an amulet, with an amulets of steel, 2 of them on a sun shield, giving them a ton of power. And unfortunately, yeah, the rest was smashing for our opponent. And we did get another courage pop. We're going to grab this bit of storage. We're going to roll another freaking dagger as well, which is another melee weapon. So they changed our whole setup around. So we should have as much crit chance as we possibly can on our villain sword, along with our pop and our dragon as well. And we're going to use our hero sword in this position, increasing the damage on both our courage pups. I'm going to put this hero sword from up top down into this side, increasing damage on our courage pups for now. But we did lose value on one little dagger for our gloves of power. But this, I think, is going to be pretty darn awesome. Now we're going to be using our eye lamps on our pop. Now we could also just place this in here and have turbo damage villain sword with a hero longsword. Place this to this side and then flip that up, and we still get the same amount of value. So, you know what? I think we're probably going to go ahead with this, actually. But hey, we got to roll. And let's keep rolling for now. Now I'm actually going to sell the dagger so we can craft up a bloody dagger so we get some lifesteal back as well. And let's roll again. And you know what? Yeah, we're going to move on. So we'll see how we get on with this right now. With our villain sword, we do have a 78 DPS, a big old 80 damage crit. We do have 82% chance to crit, and not too bad, to be honest. Yeah, adding our artifact stone heats onto our hero longsword is more damage as well, even though it doesn't crit. Which our hero longsword does increase the damage of our courage pups as well. Another pop is just in for some scaling damage. Super fast scaling damage. And some crit chance. But hey, we'll see what we can do in our final rounds. We did get our bloody dagger. We could go for another ruby egg for more heats. But I think we're going to roll. I don't exactly want any of these items, really, to be honest. I'll take you since you're on sale for 1. We could just take another doggo for 10% more crit chance. Switch our mana orb up top. Let's grab this doggo. Let's roll again. Let's keep going. Another mana orb on sale for 3. So you know what? I'm going to sell our burning coal and this, and I'm going to be taking it. But I'm going to be slotting up top for now. Now that's genuinely just in to increase the speed of our pop. And if the fight lasts long enough with 2 mana orbs in, we could potentially stack up a mana buff bomb. But with our build right now, we're either dealing crazy damage or we are going to get turbo deleted. Our only source of defense is a tiny bit of lifesteal, a tiny bit of block gain, and a whole lot of damage. But let's go and see if this is going to be good enough. Can we win out? Can this villain sword smash down this spike stacking dead slay? That's going to be a lot of poison on us, but they are scaling builds, and we should be able to deal massive damage into scaling builds. Now the changes to the hero sword has honestly made the villain sword a lot better. Especially with some hero swords, they do cost a lot less stamina with that villain sword. And increasing the speed of our villain sword like crazy as well means we could keep up with our stamina pretty darn well. Now as for DPS, we managed to get 151 DPS. Villain sword doing 110 DPS. Then a ruby orb, and yeah, our pop didn't do a whole lot. I do like pop. I probably prioritize pop a little bit too much, but it is what it is. As for heals, non-existent. About 45 max health gain from our cheese. From our cheese activating once, and more stats just giving us that tiny bit of max health. As for block, we managed to get about 75 blocks, so yeah, if we're not smashing, yeah, we're gonna die pretty fast. But anyways, with this right 4 days left, let's go and see just how much rank points we managed to get. Plus 14 ranked us up a good bit. But hey, I'm gonna leave it for now. Just want to say thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope to keep a lookout for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, in the history, we're going to begin a nuts, crossblades, double dragons with uniquely unique. And can they keep up? No, they definitely cannot. Okay, we're going to begin another Wolf Emblem with a King Gubbert. Now this is going to be interesting because they can get some invulnerability. So this opponent can last a bit longer. And can they turn the tide of fight? It's looking pretty bad for us. And can we answer back? Nope. Okay, we're going to begin a crazy double Thornbloom card cupboard situation. They're going to be stacking up a lot of max life, but can we out-damage their max life gain? Double Turnips stack up with lots of spikes, which is pretty bad for all our little melee weapons, but yeah, we could actually outpace their max health gain. And we're going to begin a Nocturnal Locklifter with a lot of scaling damage, but yeah, it's going to take too long for him to skill for damage, and awesome. Okay, we're going to begin a nuts build. That is so much claws of attack, and yeah, it didn't matter. I'm genuinely impressed that this opponent got this much claws of attack. I would love to see what this build can actually do. Okay, so we're going to begin a crazy hammer dagger build. Now, they stacked up a lot of poison daggers, but can they actually survive? They do get the added vulnerability from the Dark Lantern, keeping themselves alive, but not too bad for us.